How many of you are using any type of frequency technology in your lives right now? So I'm going to bring Carl, which is one of the owners of this company and somebody that not only lives the machine, but also has tremendous experience in all his businesses and the impact that it's having.
Fam, thank you.
Let's give it up for Carl.
What an incredible privilege to be here. Just awesome. When I walk into this room, it's just filled with energy coming from all of you. And we know how it is when you come into some rooms and you just, if that person would just leave, the energy go way up. And so we're going to talk a little bit about energy and the frequencies that come from it. And, you wonder how this works, but first of all, this is my business partner. She is a genius in frequency medicine. And she's the one that really prompted me to go into this and got me excited about it a number of years ago. And we know that we're all frequency, and you guys have seen these in these quotes. I'm not even going to bother to read. But this is what we are looking like, and you've seen these pictures before, but we're our energy fields coming out from us, and we're also connected from Earth up to Source, okay? And I've often wondered, does this stuff really work? So I tore a rotator cuff. They said surgery. I got on the machine. That's all I got on. And 2 months later, full range of motion and no pain. And it took me another 2 months to get all my strength back because you couldn't use my left arm to do about anything. And so more recently, I had kind of the shock of me because I just go out of my way to stay healthy and young, and unfortunately, I guess I'm right at the end of the curve where they can't even pull you back from what I just saw. I was hoping somebody would throw me a lifeline, but it didn't happen. Where's Jeff? Right there. Anyway, so I found out that I had, in August, prostate cancer because my PSA jumped to 4.8. And I went and got my MRI and my CT contrast, and I had 3 lesions. And I said, I'm going to do energy healing. I'm going to take advantage of that. The biggest thing I did is I started running prostate cancer frequencies on the VibraGenix. I added 3 more supplements, and I made sure that my body was alkalized. And I just got my report back. I'm excited to share with you. My PSA is 1. The 2 smaller lesions, they can't find them. They were about 5 millimeters and 6. And the biggest one was 1.8, and it shrunk to 1.5. So I'm still on the same program, active surveillance. I never had a biopsy. I wouldn't let them stir the hornet's nest. And I just give you that for you guys that you need some encouragement out there, because I wanted to know that it worked, and it did. This is the guy that really started sound frequency. Well, it's first with coils, but then with sound. And he has developed so much stuff, and he's passed away now, and it's continued on. And there are thousands of frequency panels that treat just about everything. Not everything, but just about everything, and really help. And I shouldn't say treat, because the FDA says I can't say that, but it assists in the health of those. And when you find out you do that, our cells are clumped together normally, and if our cell voltages are low, and after 10 minutes on that, these are live blood cells. After 10 minutes, we find that they're spread apart, and so now there's much more surface area, carrying much more oxygen, and that's how this works. So it's bringing more nutrients and oxygen, carrying off more waste products. And here, there's just so many uses, okay? How many here want to lose weight and just want to stand there and do that? Not change anything else? Okay, we've done that, okay? And weight loss is so important. We average about 5 pounds a month on a study we did, just standing on the machine. Now, if you do other things with it, you're going to lose a lot faster than 5 pounds a month. Then we said, anti-aging has become so important. Jeff, how many people don't want to age? All of them, right? Yeah. And so this helps with anti-aging, because when you create healthier cells, which is what this is doing, you regenerate healthier cells when they're replaced, and it helps you with your aging. Not as much, I don't think, as you, but you can't drag me back, so we're okay. Peak performance. So many people want to perform better. I still want to perform better. This is a great thing for peak performance. I can go out and work out hard, and I do that about 6 days a week. I play racquetball, I play pickleball, I water ski 4 or 5 days a week, I snow ski, I love the trees and deep powder. I still do all these things, but I get sore afterwards and I want to do it better. And this helps me recover so I can go back and do it again, even the next day. So it's way better than just sitting around being sore on the whole thing. We know that it helps with circulation and lymph drainage. We have some brain balance things in there, help with the brain, and one of them is a TBSW, where it stimulates one side of the brain and then the other and puts a midline down it, and it helps in lots of things for the brain. It's called TBSW, trinaural beat. Most of them are binaural beat. This is a trinaural beat, sine wave on here. We have chakras and the ancient tones. These sound frequencies have been around forever. And they knew, I don't know, 3, 4, 5,000, how many years ago, that sound waves really help people heal. Mood elevation, we have things in there that elevate your mood. In fact, we have one that's called mood elevation that increases your serotonin level, which just makes you feel better. We just call it the feel good panel. It's great for pain relief. We have had so many cases where they come in and, it's the low back, it's the neck, it's the shoulder, it's the usual kind of things. It helps with chiropractic before they do their adjustment, and after they do their adjustment, it makes their adjustments easier. But people just using it just normally, without even going to a chiropractor, makes a huge difference in that. And it really all comes down to cell voltage. How do we increase the voltage of the cells so they're happy cells and they start to heal and they run better? I don't know how else to say it any more simply than that. I was told I had to use 5th grade language. That's really hard for me to come up that high. This is some of the panels, and this is the starter one. We call him the green man. That's probably not politically correct. But anyway, so this is the one that runs through all the really low frequencies that affect all your cells. So they run from about 4 to about 30 hertz and increases all the energy from your bottom of your feet to the top of your head. And then this is a typical, so we click on one of those over there and it takes us here, and this is what you just push: muscle pain and inflammation. That's how you get rid of your sore. So it's complex, but it's really easy. So we could get this, and you run that, and you put those cell exciters, they look like mice, right where it's sore, and it's amazing what it does in just one session. You just tell the difference. This one is probably the most used one. This is weight loss. This is the one you push that those are lipolysis and cavitation frequencies, so they break up fat cells as well as extracting fat. So when you're having a non-invasive lipo, that's what it's doing. So those are lipolysis frequencies, and we do that. We almost always run the mood elevation, because most people are depressed because they're overweight, or they're overweight because they're depressed. And most of us are just depressed, so we use that little mood boost anyway. Stress is a huge thing. It's a great stress reliever. This one is pain management. You got pain in an area, you just hit that. There's frequencies that target that area and block that pain. Let me go on here. This is an amazing panel that's in there. This is really complex looking, but it's incredibly powerful. There are 700 plus rife frequencies for about anything you can want in that panel. And you just dial down to it, and then you save it if you're going to be reusing it so you don't have to go find it again. This is the chakra tools. You can, if you're low on one of your chakra areas, we can just turn it on, or turn it on for all of them, and raise your chakras and get those going. This is a sweep generator. This is really interesting. We discovered that if you run from 141 to about 151 hertz, it breaks down scar tissues and contractions and things like that. So, but you got to sweep through that. So it's not one steady tone. It just kind of steps through that and bumps it up every minute. And this one is this is a TBSW. I already mentioned that. The trinaural beat. I skipped one. This is another one. It has another 90 more panels on it. This one, you can build your own frequency set if you want to play around. You think there's some new frequency out there? Build your own and try it. Might even work. That's how we discovered some of them. And this is the ancient tones. You know, this is the guys that a long time ago knew that they're, you know, the most common one that people hear about is the DNA repair at 528. NASA uses that. And this is the sweep generator. You can just sweep through anything you want and play it. So it's very powerful. You can just play with it all you want. The good news is you basically can't hurt yourself playing on it, which is really fun. How do you monetize this? I'm asked that all the time. You know, I help people set up their businesses so they can actually make money with this, but we usually bring in other modalities with that. But the first thing that we do as a company is who talked about it? Somebody did. The health benefit, because we want to make sure we have healthy employees. And when we do that, we have healthy, happy employees. So we put them in our places of employment, and they can go in and they can stress relief. They can actually get into theta real quickly on this if you want to do that. It's one way to just stand there. We also use brain tap, by the way, Pat, in case you're curious about it. Anyway, we use lots of stuff. And so every dollar you spend in saving in health prevention saves you about $6 in health costs. And because we have a really high deductible on our insurance and the employee only pays $500 and the company pays all of the difference, we're really interested in that from $500 to $8,250, okay, to keep those costs down, because that's what we're paying. And that's where most of the problems occur. Very few people go over $8,250 in a year unless they have a kid or some of those other problems that show up. So there's several, yeah, I had 4 of those problems. Anyway, you know, it was a long time before we had kids. You know, we kept praying about having kids, and then we discovered it took more than prayer. But anyway, anyway, sorry about that. The cash pay is, you know, the way we go for almost everything. But there are CPT codes and third-party reimbursements. You can use health savings accounts and other things that pay for this stuff. And so we have people that are mostly cash pay that do this. And you got to ask yourself, okay, what kind of return can I get? Because these things are just about free when you look at it this way. So if we bought the big boy, which is $24,950, it can generate about $8,000 a month if we have 25 clients on it at 3 times a week at $75 a session. I don't know what you do in your area. I hear numbers. I hear one person does $20. I think that's way too low. Most of them are around $50 to $100. We have a few that are over $100 per session. So you just kind of, that 50 number or 75 number is probably about the right number on what the reimbursement. So in 3 months, you basically pay for the unit, or if you're going to charge half that much, in 6 months you'll basically pay for the unit, and the rest of it is all yours. So it's very advantageous and returns the kind of return that I look for as a business person. This is how you get a hold of us, okay? And those are Caroline's numbers, not mine. Awesome. So if you get that, and you can get a hold of her by phone, email, you can go to our website. This will give you an appointment on Calendly, so you can just make your own appointment, and she has it blocked out when she can see people and talk to people. She's amazing, and she can walk you right through it, how to use it, where it makes a difference, and what's up to. And I got 1 minute and 10 seconds, and Jeff, he's one of my longtime users.
I'm happy to share, Carl. Forever young, you are amazing. But Carl and Caroline are both remarkable people, and they've always been there. So that's the most important, that relationship, them always being there for us. And we use the device in our office. I have it in what I call my cellular recharging station. And you know how like you pick things up sometimes, and you know you shake it, right? You shake it up, and I feel like that's what I want this for the patients. Thank you. That it's creating cellular movement. They like it. We have a weight loss coach, a full-time weight loss coach in our office. This is part of that program. Patients can come into the office, they know how to walk right up to it and put themselves on it, which is great for me. Then I'm ready to be able to see them, they're ready to see me. And if that doesn't work out, then they can do it after their session. So it's been a great part of our whole, regenerative medicine, healthy aging strategy.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Give him a big hand. Karen wants to share. I got about a minute left, it turns out.
Okay. So about a month ago, it was December the 16th, I went for a hike with Jim Bunch, John Asseroff, and Fab. And I know you remember this because you had to stay back and walk slow with me. But I have plantar fasciitis and a bone spur. And I was in so much pain. And I said, y'all go ahead because I was suffering so bad. And Jim was nice and said, I'll stay back with you. And so we walked very slowly. But yesterday, me and Joanne, I don't know where Joanne is, but Joanne and I were the first ones to finish the walk, and it was because of the VibraGenix. I have no more pain. I feel like I don't even have a bone spur, and so it is amazing, and I use it twice a day when I'm home, and I can tell you this works, and the sound frequency, I have it playing in our apartment even when I'm not on the machine. So I'm balancing my chakras, blow drying my hair, getting things done, and it's amazing. It's healing. So thank you.
Thank you, Karen. All right, thank you, Fab. Thanks everybody here. It's been a great week for me, or weekend.